Hey, hey, hey! Welcome back. Welcome back to I almost said Scorpio channel, to the Virgo channel, because I've been doing so many Scorpio videos lately because I decided to do alternate. From now on, you'll see a lot of videos on one day, and other days you won't see because it was too much to do to alternate every single day. So, so that's why I got into that. So watch when I get on the Scorpio channel, I'll be doing the same thing. It's like we're creatures of habit. That's what happens when you're not as grounded. And when you do readings all day long, you're not grounded. You're not in your body because you're in your head. So again, we're supposed to be balanced. We're supposed to be able to be. So the proud thing is with psychic people, we tend to not be grounded. So it means that having problems in muggle issues, I like to say. So have to do more exercises, do more body mind connection. Really, healing is all about integration. People don't realize that trauma, psychic trauma, creates psychic ability. You live in survival mode. When you live in survival mode, you are pretty much just tapped into it to your senses, right? And when you continue to live that way, you condition your senses to become oversensitive. So when there's a big difference between the highly sensitive people that have been abused and highly sensitive people that haven't been abused. I guess maybe the reading is going to go somewhere like this because spirit talking about this right now, it's an issue. And so I guess what it's saying is that when you go through a lot of experiences that are traumatic, psychologically, emotionally, is the same as physically, because your mind doesn't know the difference. Well, then we form habits and behaviorisms that block us from manifesting. So I believe that you have blocks, and that's connected to, you know, your how about with love, like whether you can have love or the love that you want. There's a belief that not being able to, and you're connected to someone that has that same block. Now, a lot of times when we just go through life, we can get that block, but that block did not come just from life. It came from growing up in an environment that made you highly sensitive. Yes, you might have inherited sensitivity, but the environment made you oversensitive. And that means very very intuitive, very someone that thinks a lot, someone that if goes going through a difficult time has a hard time shutting off, having a hard time, emotionally regulating. And that's what happens when people have gone through a lot of trauma and then they've never learned to heal from that trauma. They react the same way that they always react. So the storyline Spirit's saying is that you have to take into consideration you're dealing with two or one. Again, take it as it resonates. I'm kind of feeling it's two though, because you're a magnet of who and what comes into your life. Are dealing with the same type of experience. Like you both grew up in that type of environment, but it doesn't mean the way that you learned how to survive was the same. But it also means you're both highly sensitive and intuitive. But if one's not healed, spiritually learned, they're really primal the way that they think. Survival, very low, kind of low energy, because it's, all about self. It's not about like that there's enough to go around. Remember, survival is I'm not good enough, I don't have enough, I don't, and it's a lack within self. And that is what happens when you grow up in a certain environment. And that is just enough of a seed to be planted in a child that then grows up to form habits and behaviorisms that are in alignment with that, which, by the way, brings shame. So, again, we're going to see why Spirit wanted me to talk about that today, that energy. Let's see what the word of the video is. Now, for those of you that watch the channel know I like to go in deep. So I look at everything. We look at the spiritual blocks of shadows and see how they play it as karmic themes. Because it's not about what your person's going to do. So if it's karmic mate, it's not that the person doesn't have feelings or love. If anything, the relationship goes on, off, or we're off, but there's still a cord. We're still corded to each other, though we're off. So emotionally, you're not getting anything. It's almost like, but you feel this person's energy, and it's like irritating because it's still like having a cord to someone makes it difficult for you to move on. It makes it difficult for that person to move on. And it's mainly because there's feelings there, but it's almost like both parties are like in a Mexican standoff, like I'm not whoever moves first, and no one's moving, and no one's moved for a long time. So then there becomes that cord. All right. So the word Leo is the genius, the genius. And so when we're in the genius, we're in the higher self. The higher self is the God part of self. So there is a soul connection between you and this person, because it's a knowing, clairsentient, claircognizance. We all have it. It's like, I don't have I know that. I just know. It's, you feel like home, you feel familiar, but why does it look like that? It's like, and like that is someone that's wounded. And that's what I felt, why I channeled what I just channeled before. We're going to see, let me see before, like what this person did. And then we'll look at your triggers. And then we will eventually get to see what this person would like to do. And the irony is sometimes what they feel the whole time is not actually what they'll do. It's not exactly what they feel either. That's the thing with shadows. People wear masks. They create facades, illusions. So you're like, I don't understand why they're doing what they're doing. I don't understand why I'm connected to this person, or why I can't move forward. Excessive overstating a situation. So I feel like this person, whatever their behavior is, they do a lot of it. And I feel like they either drink a lot, they womanize a lot, they manonize enough. That's not a word, but run around with different guys all the time. Like they have commitment issues. Someone that, and I feel like your person thinks that you are excessive in the fact of, you always have to repeat yourself. You always have to repeat yourself. But there's a liking in that, by the way. Like this person, never was parented. I feel like they weren't parented. They might have been abused. Like, go over there, you piece of crap, or maybe they had to be the parent, but they weren't. But they were not parented, and so there's a sense of you having to repeat yourself. And where you're like, okay, you're not listening. It's like, well, part of them listens, but they also, again, are emotionally stunted because they weren't parented. If anything, they got yelled at when they grew up. There's many a person that grows up to be a liar, because they grew up with an abusive parent. So I kind of feel like there's that energy. So everything which you say, you'll be like, I'm trying to set boundaries. I'm trying to figure out what's going on in the relationship. I have a right to know what's going on within our relationship. And this person is purposely likes for you to get nervous, to get mad, and then they'll call you excessive and obsessive, but they want that because they're insecure. So again, we have this connection, but I don't really understand this connection. And I have all these blocks where I don't believe that I can really be loved. And I'm feeling this connection though, which goes against this knowing that I can't be loved because that's what I know, because that's what I've lived. That's the ego part of self. So the ego part of self has already made up that decision. So this person's holding on to a cognitive dissonance where they're like, I want it, I'm curious about it, but I also no, I can't. I was taught from a young thing. So you saying stuff, but excessively, it's like, oh, well, you have feelings. Almost like as long as this person thinks that you're stuck, they're happy. The moment that you, again, go out in life and become interactive, the moment that this person would show up, I can guarantee it, because it's the energy there. It's the love. The genius is that it's a knowing. It's that creative genius also, though, when we are dealing with a person like this, that you can shift your energy into that, to creation. And that's how you cut that psychic cord, because your mind can't be in two places at one time. I feel like this person will do everything to also avoid like to being in a relationship. So what happens is it's like when they get into a relationship, they wind up sacrificing too much, overgiving, overdoing. They tend to like need to play the rescuer in a relationship. But then what happens is they're not happy. They're not happy. And the thing is, you're too confident. See, I like who you are. And I love the fact that you like me. I can't believe how much you like me. I can't believe that you like me because of what I actually think about myself. And, I can't come in here and like fix you. I can't avoid my life to fix you because I only know how to do codependent relationships. And because I only know how to do codependent relationships, my relationships turn toxic because I'm the rescuer where I'm the martyr. But after a while, I feel it's unappreciative, it's expected. I'm not getting the praise, I'm not getting the love, I'm not getting what I need. And you don't need me. So what you're not going to want me. Like this is what this person's role normally is. And I feel like they're a highly sensitive person, like what I said in the beginning of this show. I was gonna say, like of this episode reading. That what you call it, that the environment created oversensitivity. So when this person gets loved, they overgive, they lose themselves in the relationship. And I don't really believe that that's what they showed you in the beginning. If anything, they might have overcompensated because, again, when you're not coming from you, yeah, they did. Self righteous. It's like, which is very common. And the reason why is because now the person's going to overcompensate for the lack that they feel, their insecurity. And their way is to act strong. I don't have emotions. I don't have feelings. This is what you're dealing with. Like, I'm not going to show you anything. I'm going to not give you anything. I'm going to give you so little because I want you to react. Because I don't really know how to act. Hey, that rhymes. If I know, I just kept you in a lower state of consciousness. Hey, happy hermit. So this is what it is. It's like I'm going to act self-righteous because this is how I perceive successful people look, confident people look. But again, the person came across arrogant and judging a lot of other people. I feel like this person tends to judge people, but then can't deal if you are judging them, or if you have like want to say something to this person. They're oversensitive, meaning like not just oversensitive in the environment and being able to see and feel and all that, and getting overstimulated and feeling inadequate, because that's what happens when you're a highly sensitive person that's not healed. You feel inadequate, like you're almost in someone else's body. You're not grounded really because you haven't found yourself. You were conditioned in an environment to, like I said, to give in order to get love, in order to be seen, to give. But in that, this person feels very small. And when having this connection with you, it brought up all this weirdness. But that's really what it is. It's like it feels weird. It's like, okay, I have a connection to you, but why does it look like that? Why is there this weirdness? Hey, John. So again, you always felt like the person would always have an exit plan, and they would, because I'm afraid that you'll get too close. I don't want to lose myself in you. I've created this persona. Hey, Jay, I've created this persona, and in this persona, like that's my identity. So I have to stick to the script the script is my survival, which which you're going to say it doesn't make sense. Well, a person, again, they were always taught that they were inadequate, that they unconsciously create these facades and again create these things, um, these personas, but in that they're not creating themselves because it takes time to do that. So it's where we put our time, our energy, our focus, and our money. And so this person does that out of fear. So they're not coming from themselves. It's like they have to go on the go. And when it's not coming from the higher self, the God part of self, it's not flowing. People can feel it. They're like, I don't know, I'm not resonating. You know what I mean? That's where a lot of times that's how people feel about this person because they're not really being genuine. They're not really letting anyone like into their life because again of this persona. So the exit plan is that you felt, I feel like you felt like, oh, because this person didn't want to give you time. This person didn't want to give you time because they didn't want to build the emotional connection so fast because they would lose themselves. And the way that they created a boundary instead of talking to you and communicating, they acted self-righteous. They acted like again, they created that persona, like who they think that they are. But really, it's like, oh, I have such strong feelings for you. And so again, they wanted you to act dramatic. They wanted you to act that way. And they might have even said that you acted dramatic, but this person definitely knew what they were doing. They were manipulating you, and they were manipulating you because they're like, I don't really want to tell you how I feel. I don't really want to be transparent, but not because I don't like you, because I like you too much. And I don't really like who I am. Yeah, that's the thing. It doesn't matter half the age. It doesn't matter. It's my husband was like 20 something years older than me. It's like love is love. You know, it transcends all time and space, and love doesn't know age. So it doesn't know. It's like, but I feel like you felt like this person was cheating. But I don't feel that this person was cheating. That's the irony. Now, do I feel like this person is a flirt? Yes. Do I feel like they get attention from a lot of people? Yes, but it's insignificant. It doesn't really, it makes this person feel good to get a lot of attention from a lot of people. Again, makes this person feel known, but they're not real relationships. They're surface relationships. Like, let me pop into the Instagram. Let me pop into the Facebook. Hi, like, you know, you have your Facebook friends that you meet, and it's surface. It's not it's not that. So again, them spending time there and not giving you time. So memory, and you just felt like you kept telling this person over and over and over again, which is what I said, the mothering thing, which is like you felt like I was being annoying because I felt like I had already lived through this before, and it just triggered my reaction all the time, like I knew that it was going to happen, like this person had me on the hook. But also we have this connection, and yes, that person was like, I don't have to give you anything. It was like, because we have this connection. It's like, see, it's different if it's a surface person. If it's a surface person, then I can go out to dinner with that person. I can screw that person and then never talk to them again. Now, I wouldn't even remember that person's name in 3 weeks. And you're like, so you would rather take out, it doesn't that? And Spirit says that is betrayal at a young age that creates intimacy issues, trust issues. So that's why this person says, I go in and I'm the martyr, and because in the beginning I get all caught up in the in the sex, in the in the connection. It feels so good in the beginning. There's like a high in the beginning, but then like again, it becomes unappreciative. And then obviously the sex gets less, and it's not all new, and it's not all nervy and this and that. And then they're like, I don't want to do this anymore. And that's really what it is, where this person was never letting the relationship with you and them grow, but they kept it corded. Almost like, I know I want to be with you, I just don't want to be with you right now. And it's like, and that was the memory that you're like, okay, like you keep telling me that we're gonna see each other. You keep telling me that that we're gonna do stuff. Are you just jerking me around? Like now I'm starting to think that you're jerking me around and you're getting mad. But you just saying that, this person's like, oh, see that this person really has feelings for me. Like it's real. And they think I'm this person, and this is like, this person knows that they're not that person that they showed you. Gaslighting. And you're like, but not the gaslighting like you think. Yes, they were gaslighting you, but not to cheat, but more to hide this facade, that it was just a facade because they don't really like themselves. And again, not really believing in love, not really believing that relationships work, not really understanding this type of spiritual connection. This person's not evolved. Clearly, is someone that, came from a family that there was abuse and there was whatever. And it's not that they're not intelligent when it comes to school, but they're not smart when it comes to just spiritually smart. They tend to, again, really come from that lower consciousness because that's what they were conditioned to. That's how they grew up. It's like, and no one has come across in this person's path that they, didn't have a relationship and have like sex and have a good time for a certain time, but then the relationship again went bad, or got stuck in a relationship with someone that they're like, I don't like, I hate it. Like I'm stuck with this person. They're a nag. And yeah, because the relationship's codependent because you came in doing everything. So this person doesn't understand why all of a sudden you're changing just because all of a sudden you don't find them as hot anymore. It's like, and also this person shouldn't be asking you to do all those things. It's very codependent. So again, that person doesn't have an identity. You have an identity. You have a life. You're attractive. It's like, I could see how I could be in a relationship with you. I could actually see that it could actually work. That's scary, but it's like, let me think about it more because, like I actually also like it just here because it's not getting fucked up. It's like staying up in my head. It's like, as long as you don't live it. And that's, again, an intimacy issue. That's a trust issue. But it's more about trust within themselves at this point. But really, you're only a mirror of who and what comes into your life. So again, if you don't trust yourself, you're going to attract people that you can't trust. And that betrayal winds up playing out over and over and over again. So this person just thinks, oh, you're like everybody else. And that's somebody that needs healing, obviously. Oh my God, manipulation. Didn't we already get that one? No, I might have said it. But it's, again, that's what you felt like. It's like, where, remember, the way that they dealt with you was with self-righteousness because they were creating that persona. I don't think that this person realized how they were coming across, because you don't know how you're coming across when you're acting a lot of times. And that's, acting like they know who it is. Attention. And I feel like, you felt like this person wanted attention when they wanted it and they never gave you attention. And that person will stonewall when they don't get, it's a way to keep a person like bound, where this person knows all those little tricks, because I feel like they were raised by someone that played all those little tricks. So they wind up doing it once they get into a relationship. And after a while, being in a relationship where they're giving and giving and giving and giving and giving and giving, then they go the other way, where they don't want to give anything. And the thought of even being with the person, just like, there's no more attraction, there's no more chemistry. There's no more anything. There may be love, like, but the love has been now like that cord is now like eroded because there's so much pain, there's so much anger, there's so much resentment, there's so much and so this is why this person's like, I don't really believe in love. And they're usually manipulated to also believe that there is no such thing as love. So that's the thing. Let's go deeper. Let's go and see what type of relationship this is, or what, because get a clue, or what's happening internally with this person, really. I want to hold you in my arms and feel our bodies unite as one. Again, there's still that passion. My heart is with another right now. I have to finish this karmic contract in order to be free. So again, that's being connected. So that explains a lot. It's like this person, if you would feel it, you'd be like, they're really not with anyone. Well, that's because they're not. They're not sleeping with that person. They're not. They're living two separate lives. They don't really want to be in that, but they were the martyr. And in that, they did everything that that person wanted them to do. So try and get out of that, especially if you have money, especially if you have things. So again, when this person met you, they probably lied to you, or the relationship is a relationship that it has been on, off forever. And that person, that karmic that is with that person, thinks you're not going to go anywhere. I own you. If you want to be with someone, go ahead and be with someone. You want to get drunk, get drunk. They make that person stay in a lower vibration so that they can manipulate. And that's really, again, so that's why this person, of course, thinks of you like passion. They haven't been with you, but they've been growing this connection in their mind. See, is how much you feed something, and you not being there, and this person seeing you, the type of woman or man that you are, that they want and the desire, is like it's making them really despise that karmic. I close my eyes and I imagine you're here with me. It feels so real. I'm beginning to understand this is what it means to be in the 5D with you. I don't know if they know, they say that I'm in the 5D with you, but I think it's like, I understand that this is like what a spiritual connection is. When people say soulmate, I never understood that. I always thought it was bullshit. Relationships don't really work out for me. They go from hot to the cold. It's like, and again, it's just a pain in the ass a lot of times, but you have to give something to get something. That this is this person's mentality before you. So again, when it's talking about soulmate, twin flame, whatever it is, this person was like, yeah, whatever. It's like, yeah. Like those things don't last. But I think what they're seeing is, I haven't fed this. I haven't done anything. We're in separation. I still feel this. It's getting stronger. It's like they don't know what you're doing. They don't know. They're curious. Again, remember that they're feeding that connection. So they're trying to manifest you back. Almost. So it's funny. Whatever you just cleared, help me to shift it to, like, this person feels like they're very connected to you. And I feel like you have your moments where you're like, I'm so angry, but I also have like feelings that I still love this person. And that's how you know it's a karmic, because there's a feeling of, again, there is unconditional love, but this person is not on the right vibration and they are tapped into you. So that's why it's dangerous, because you're like, I feel this person, they really connect to me. This and that. Yeah, but in that, they had a lot of control. They had a lot of control. And the thing is, they have feelings, but their situation is horrible. So it's like, well, I need to stay here. They don't have control over their life. Someone else has control over their life. And that person's like, I don't care. They can go screw whoever they want. But everything stays here, and I will always win. Like, it's like that's that energy, and that's where this person needs to, like, figure it out. I'm praying you'll come back after everything that's happened between us. I worry that you won't forgive me and allow me another chance. Yeah, this person's getting worried because they don't know what you're doing. Like I said, you're in separation from them. But understand that needs to happen for this person to change, regardless of whether you're with them or not. See, Spirit's like, I don't really care. I give you free will to choose. However, the whole point of being on earth is to evolve back into the energy of unconditional love. And when a person thinks that they're going to hold somebody else captive, even after a while, even the universe will come in and say, all right, it's time. It's time. Like, it's like this person has enough. This person, like, might have had a reason for why they did what they did, and they were able to bind that person for 10 years, 5 years, however long. However, the universe is helping this person to to get out of their situation, and it's because they want to get out of that situation. It's not like they want to be there. They just feel like they can't get out of there, and that's the issue. Clear the illusion of the 3D world. Don't take everything at face value. There's a lot more going on spiritually and energetically than you can see. And that's what Spirit's saying. It's like, you're not going to see anything. This person's not going to be, you're not going to see them do anything. But understand everything's happening internally. It's like their feelings for you are growing. They're looking at this person that was holding them captive, and they're like, I fucking hate this person. Like, that sound in their voice just like irritates them. They're like so not attracted to them. It's like getting worse and worse and worse. And it's making that karmic get more, have more and more and more and more anxiety, to the fact that the karmic, like, it's starting to feel like they're bipolar, because they are flipped out that this person is not giving them any attention. By now, you would have caved by now. Like I said, this person bound them for a long time to them, and that's because every other person was a karmic with this person. You really are that have a soul's connection, and it's, again, that person knows it. That knowing is the genius. It's like it's like I know. It's like, and I know, because normally I would just cave and be the martyr, go back to doing and fixing and doing for everybody else, but I can't. No, because Spirit's like, oh, enough of this. But I can help you, though. So I'm going to bring you a lot of different things to make you, like, move. But that's the person's battling the fear, because, again, of their insecurity. Remember, they showed here is that they were just insecure. They wanted you to chase them. They wanted you to, like, give to them. They, again, to be there. I feel the chemistry between us. We need to trust that that energy we share will bring us back together again. And that's what, like, again, what they're saying. It's like, but understand, um, that happens by you disconnecting your energy. You have to scare that person more. It's they have to walk through the fire. And it's always easier to walk through the fire when there's something on the other end. There's hope. There's something. So this person doesn't reach out to you because there's also a sense of, I can't lose my hope, because you can be like, you know what? Go shit in your hat. I never want to talk to you ever again. And put it over your ears. Like, you might be like you tell this person that they would be devastated, or take a hike. It's like this person would be heartbroken. So, again, the catalyst to make them change, because their life is like, they're like hating their life. They're like, I don't own my life. Look at my life. Yeah, put your, shit in your hat and pull it over your ears. Like you could say that. Like, go take a hike. Not interested after all your bullshit. Like, you were connected to someone else, but you said that you were single. I wasn't with that person. Yeah, but I don't want to run around with a person that's still connected to someone else. You know that. There's a large piece of your story that you just kind of left out there. It's like manipulative. And then, you still are there. You show up in my dreams. It helps me to process buried memories. So again, spirit is just like there's a lot happening internally. It's like it's almost like the chicken's not done. It's like you can try and take it out of the oven now, but it's gonna be raw on the inside. It's like I'm making things happen. It's like, well, you kind of like a little slow, like you almost in spirits, like, in spirits, like, well, this person needs a lot of healing. It's like they're figuring things out. It's like they're figuring things out and understand they're going up against their own core beliefs, the reptilian mind. And this person that's in their environment knows how to manipulate their environment and has been doing so. So it's almost like this person is used to people saving them to get out of their situation. And that's why they wound up with crazy Annie or crazy Bobby. It's like whoever it is, you wind up with crazy people that are like, I don't care whether you love me or not. I don't care. You're miserable. I don't care. I like what it looks like on the outside. We'll be miserable together, but it looks good. It's like that's not normal. Or I'm gonna make you love me. Like it's nothing more unattractive, and that's someone that has major abandonment issues. So, and now you had that codependent dynamic, which is why this person is like, I need to get out of it. They were in a contract. And the only thing that's going to get this person out is a twin flame. That's it. That is it. And that's why the universe is like 911. We got to bring in the soulmate twin flame because this person has a lot of blockages. They have a lot of blockages. They're not moving. It's like they're not doing anything. They're too afraid. They're stuck in fear. And that happens again if you grew up in an environment that there was like trauma and the person's nervous system is stuck in fight, flight, freeze. Which is why they probably have a lot of addictions. And it's there again, as long as they stay in a lower energy, the karmic's like, I don't care. Be high, be drunk, I don't care. You'll be on the couch right there. I don't have to worry about you. It's like it's not normal. I'm conflicted about whether I have what it takes to be your partner. It's again like are you gonna like me? Are you gonna like me? Can I leave? If I leave, will it work out? Remember, there's a part of this person that you might be like, I'm not gonna move in with this person. Like, well, this person is like, well, what will you be in my life? We'll be together. Maybe you'll want to date me. Maybe we'll want to be a friend. My life will be better, though, than what it will be. It's like, but I don't know whether or not, obviously I would want to be with you, but maybe you're not going to want to be with me. And then I'm going to leave my comfort zone. So this person is comfortable being uncomfortable. And that's also another way that that they lived in trauma and they didn't learn any spiritual lesson. They were like, nah, I'm good. I'll stay right here. It's like, because it's safe. It's safe. I think you're beautiful inside and out, and I see your light, and it radiates from your soul. Well, again, it's like, I feel like they see that you're a good person. And that it's, again, that they see that you're someone that is a genuine person. And that you make them feel good. That you don't make them feel like there's something wrong with them. You made them feel like, wow, you like me. Wow, it's again, like that's how this story opened, right? It's like that this person was like, I think that you're like everything. Like they were obsessed. They weren't acting like it. They were acting like a jerk, But Spirit says, remember the kid that has the crush on the little girl and he pulls the girl's ponytails? Well, it's again, this person is not much more evolved because of how they grew up. So they're just not really emotionally intelligent. The irony is that there's someone that is extremely sensitive and actually is very loving. does have a lot of care, does overgive. Again, why it's again that karmic doesn't want to let go, because it's like I still want everything. I still want everything. I don't care whether you love me or not. You're not gonna get rid of me. It's like I'm staying right here. It's like, and that's the issue. Our union is an energy, and we need to do clearing. Repeat this after me. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. I'm grateful for you. Which, by the way, these would be twin flame wounds. You have to say, why do you get a twin flame? You get a twin flame because there are childhood wounds that just haven't been healed. They haven't been healed. Ones where you're like, where you might have been told that there's something wrong with you, that you're defective, like too much blame went on the child. And also, the child wasn't allowed to just have their identity. They weren't allowed to just be who they were without being yelled at. They weren't allowed to have their unfoldment process. Instead, they were yelled at, they were manipulated, their energy was used for whatever the family needed it for. So that person did was so busy doing that they didn't grow up and find themselves. So understand there would be a lot of anger. There would be a lot of resentment because I'm this way because of you, almost. Where really God says, well, you're not that way because person, the person can't make you be that way, but you may need healing. And the body and mind are self healing organisms. So the universe, which is God, will bring you people and situations to help you do that. But this relationship will require forgiveness. And you might be like, I don't want to forgive how this person did what this person did. They weren't good. And Spirit says, yes, you have a big problem with forgiveness. But that's the biggest spiritual walk that there is. That's every single religion talks about it. It's like the foundation of everything. It's like to be able to forgive. Where again, you're like those people are not forgiven. Spirit says, I'm not asking you to invite them for dinner. There's a difference. And so you're like, well, I only know how to be this way or this way. And Spirit says you have to find your balance. And your balance is always found within your individuality. So if there's no individuality, you'll stay angry instead of be able to release that anger. You have to transmute that anger. You're the alchemist of your life. So otherwise, you stay at that lower consciousness, and the behaviorisms are in alignment with it. So understand, I love you. You have to be transparent. That's difficult. Like you said, both children then were. I mean, if you're getting your soulmate, you grew up very similar. I mean, that's a twin flame. It's like that's why there's such a deep connection. It's also like you get me, and there doesn't matter what the age, time, looks, and anything doesn't play a factor in your twin flame. It's the best candidate, the soul that's going to be able to teach that lesson the best. And so part of learning unconditional love is that it's like I forgive you, but I love you, and I can still be compassionate towards you and act as if I'm grateful for you, which this would mean that you have to reparent yourselves. And since Spirit says, well, you really can't reparent yourself in this particular situation. So I'm going to bring your twin flame in because they're going to have to do it for you and you're going to have to do it for them. So there's going to be a real sense of, I really don't want to fucking do it. How dare this person? It's the principle where Spirit's saying love holds no score. Like this is like again that you can't put a label on the love, that you're learning the lesson. Because understand there is love and there'll be also consequences if you wind up cutting your nose off just to spite your face. Meaning, I don't want to forgive you because of the principle. I don't really feel like you're sorry enough. Because this person will shut down like a clam. It's like they're not confident. It's like, and they won't really know how to prove themselves. They're freeze. They're not going to become somebody else. You soulmate twin flame when they're like this. I like it's out of the box. You bought that couch from IKEA. Well, it came in like 1,000 different pieces. You got to put it together. Well, it's like a man or woman to order. It's like, like it's a do it yourself. You gotta show up. You gotta teach this person. And you may be like, I don't really want to teach this person because I feel like they should know it. And Spirit says, you see how angry you're getting? And you're like, yeah, because it's like, why do I have to do it? Everybody else. And Spirit will say, yeah, everybody else. And it's like, that's your story. But it's like, so I can't get somebody that does. And Spirit says, so you can't learn how to do that yourself so that there's no expectation or ownership, because that's what unconditional love is. You can do that and get angry, but there'll be consequences because there is still a love there. You're like, and that's really what it is. Well, when you have a spiritual, more of a spiritual way, you've more educated in that, you will be the teacher and that understand. You'll feel like I'm the one that needs somebody. I'm the one that needs somebody to come in, and Spirit says, "No, you got to do it yourself. Remember, the way to get it yourself is to do it yourself." So many times the twin flame soulmate isn't a forever relationship. It's that person because it's a hot relationship. It's a think of Tina and Ike. Think of Sonny and Cher. Like, and I'm using these people as examples just because look how versatile when they would get fight. Like Ike would beat the crap out of Tina, and Tina would beat the crap out of, like, they would get so mad, and there was so much fire, so much passion, like I'll rip your face off. But there was also a lot of passion and a lot of unconditional love. And when they came together, they made fire happen. They changed the music world. I mean, their presence. And so understand that's a transmutation right there. It's transmutation. And when you look at Cher, I guess, was half Indian and half American, and she was bullied and no one wanted her. So her whole life she was told, like, you're a freak, you're a half breed. No one wants you. No one wants you. No one wants you. No one wants you. That trauma pushes a person inside of themselves. So remember, it's always the child that survives, thrives, and the child that has gone through that, that type of experience over and over and over again is able to manifest easier. They're able to manifest because they've been in that spiritual realm. So that's the issue. I've been so grounded all my life, it's hard for me to trust the spiritual elements of a connection, yet I can't deny they exist. So understand, it's just saying right now, a lot of things are happening on the inside, because the more that I pull, it's more about this person's like still being a little insecure, but at least, which is a process. That's why I said it's not an overnight thing for people to heal. People get safe. They feel safe, even when it's uncomfortable. It's familiar. Even I'll learn to adjust in what's familiar, even though it's uncomfortable, because of the fear of what I don't know, instead of knowing who you are and realizing it's not the environment that creates you, it's that you create you. And that as one door closes, another door opens. But you have to be invested in life. This person doesn't have control over their life. And I feel like they're staying in a low vibration to just go along with everything. But it's like, again, even with that, they don't want to do it. There's a feeling like I don't want to do it, but it's forcing this person to change. It's forcing them to. So you'll be like, so I wound up with this freaking person, which I want to pull like a few more, which do like trauma right on the top. We'll take it. which that's the thing. You're in a relationship with someone that's traumatizing. And even if you're saying, well, I'm not really dating them, but you're still connected to them. In this person's mind, they're dating. That's why I said they're manifesting you. Like that's the way that person manifests when they go through trauma. And again, they just focus on something and know that they focus, they become more and more obsessive. So the whole manifesting you back trauma. So it also has benefits once you learn to heal the effects of trauma, which this person is learning a little bit. They have a ways to go. And the anger is what really leads them because they're, again, and that's really the catalyst, that fire. I'm not happy here. And that's what makes people say, I'm uncomfortable, I'm changing. Otherwise, this person wouldn't change. Spirit says, oh, they'd stay like that forever. And even if that karmic took a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more away from them, they would just learn to compensate until they had nothing. Where that's why the universe is getting involved, saying it's like enough. But this person's finally getting mad because the universe is getting involved. And to create some sort of balance in this person's life because they're not balanced at all and they need balance. And that's how they know they're always angry. They're never in their body. They're tired. I feel like if you see this person again soon, you're going to think that they aged because of that. So what are they going to come back? I mean, you didn't answer whether they were going to come back or not, though, Spirit. I mean, not that we want to know. I mean, we realize that they're in the process of healing, but like, we'll only pull 3. Where Spirit's like, if it's a twin flame, they're coming back. However, that's not the focal point of the reading. But inquiring minds want to know, it's like, we don't care whether the person is like Quasimodo. We just want to know, like right now, So at this time, the situation is in a state of flux. Anything could happen. So again, they could leave there tomorrow or they can stay. This is where they're at right now. Things are happening. So this is why Spirit's saying they are healing, but more things are happening internally that is waking up this person, which is why it's a very slow process. A little bit more. Delayed spiritual quest. So again, look, labyrinth, like delays, and it's complex, and it's again complicated. And I feel like their situation is complicated because they're trying to figure out how to get away from whatever that person, and then also their life. They're in the process of healing. And that's why they're in the labyrinth. It's almost like as they ask one question, another question, and then it leads them to another question, which leads them like they're almost in a maze that they have to figure out how to get out. And Spirit says they're healing. I'm going to keep telling you that they're healing. And I'm like, but I want to know whether they're going to come back. Like what is they going to do? And Spirit's like, if they're a twin flame, they will understand you're the catalyst, part of that catalyst. The fact that they're really uncomfortable is 1. 2, it's as past life karmic mates in every single lifetime where there's an opportunity to step into your divine being. There is an opportunity, but the past few lifetimes, this person wasn't really ready to do it. In this lifetime, it looks like they're awakening to those, but it's a slow process. Like I said, that's why they're in the labyrinth. But at any time, this person could awaken. We don't know how long their spiritual process is going to be. Like the spirit is downloading, is healing. They're accessing past life, karmic things, which is helping them to evolve. They're realizing that there actually is a spiritual element. They're realizing, wait a minute, like I'm starting to understand what it means to be in the 5D with you, but they're not saying that. They're saying what a soulmate is. I didn't think that they really existed. It's like I said, that it's still uncertain outcome. Now, is that because of you? Let's ask, because it's like, I'm just curious. Like, normally I don't ask, but we've been doing like topics like this for a while. So I'm like, I want to know whether or not are they going to, what are they going to do? Spirit's funny when that doesn't want to answer. Yeah, I feel like again, yes, there'll be a new beginning again, and where it's more like an innocence. It's more like you guys are going to start off like as friends. It looks like, and that's because this person is not really 100% ready to be in a relationship. They have feelings for you. They're going to come forward, but I feel like they're not secure and they're embarrassed because it's, hey, they created a facade, and that facade is once they leave that situation, well, the jig is up. You know, what's left is what's ever left, and it's not going to be much with that karmic behind. So again, there'll be a new beginning, but they said almost like a childlike thing, so which makes sense, and I'm going to tell you why. But I mean, we're going to look at your inner child cards, but it makes sense. You know why? Because part of reparenting, Spirit saying, is you both didn't have childhoods. So I want you to play. The identity was ruined, and the identity was ruined at a young age for this person because they were told who they were and their energy was used. So spirits like they wouldn't have a recollection of even what they like or who they are or anything. There wouldn't be anything, you know, that this person, they would just go back to the same habits and behaviorisms because that's all that they know. So spirit's saying you're someone that's like goes out and you do things and you try things and you're interactive and understand you also had that same experience. So spirit's saying learning to be friends, learning to just go out without expectations, be like a child. Both grew up too fast. It's like the without that identity. So spirit saying no. It's again foundation. See, create a healthy foundation so it can grow, so that it can grow into a new beginning that's proper. Again, friends. The basic thing is learning to trust. I'm learning to be transparent. I'm learning to be able to communicate. I'm learning how to, those need to be integrated because of the way that you both were raised, is what I'm feeling. Now we're going to look at your inner child cards because you'd be like, oh, this is my twin flame. Like, what are my wounds? Well, you have to have pretty big wounds to get a person like this, or you might just have a lot of spiritual gifts that spirit's like, no, this person needs your help, and maybe that's going to be healing for you because maybe you're like, I'm not really good at anything. I'm not good at anything. And spirit's saying, what are you talking about? Everybody that comes to you, you heal. What are you talking about? Like you're that person. Like maybe you need to look at yourself differently. Unworthy, feeling unworthy. These are your inner child card wounds. And so that could also be like, why, like, why don't you want to take math class? And why do you want to take field hockey? You know what I mean? It doesn't, as a child, when a child isn't allowed to have their unique unfoldment process and parents like question them and they say things, well, again, the child gets hurt. The child thinks there's something wrong, even when there is nothing wrong. It's like a parent could just be concerned. Or they could say, I really like it when, you know, like little Bobby or little Sarah over there joined the chess club and you decided to take baseball. You know what I mean? It's like if they praise another child and they don't praise you, you know, whether it could be anything that makes a child feel unworthy. It also could be abuse, just abuse, like you're not good enough, someone making you feel as if there's something wrong with you. Shame, again, another bad one. And it's like where you're bad, where I feel like you didn't get the love that you needed. So it's sometimes when a child that doesn't get the love that they need, they try to steal love. So they might be a little kleptomaniac and bring shame to the house, you know, or try to get that love and attention somewhere else. That acceptance. They might run around with a bad crowd and they're seen as, oh, like, look, you're hanging out with those people. Like, you know that Annabelle and Brian, they're never going to amount to anything, and you're hanging out with them on the street corner, smoking cigarettes, you know, whatever it is, like shame. Like, instead of speaking to a child the way that they need to be spoken to like maybe it's not saying that about anybody, but saying, no, there's better ways to spend your time. And maybe you would be interested in taking up this sport or learning about this or encouraging the child instead. No, they're getting shamed. So again, being then made to feel as if there's something wrong when there's really nothing wrong. But you were just again finding your style, your way. A lot of times shame is a karmic, a family karmic thing that's handed down. It's just handed down and it's anger. What that it really is when a parent's angry and they project. Overwhelmed. And I feel like that is what got you overstimulated because again, you're like, I have to like sit here and like feel unworthy and feel shamed and feeling like there's something wrong with me. So this is everything that this person grew up with too. And that's what I said. You're getting your twin flame will mirror the same exact wounds that you do. It's like, it doesn't mean they're handled properly. It's where you have strengths, this person has weaknesses, and vice versa. That's why they seem like, oh, this is my other half. And the spirit says there's no such thing as a half person. It's that they have gifts. They come into your life to teach you, to help you, to cultivate those gifts, to cultivate those shadows. And they're doing it with unconditional love because they have unconditional love for you. Doesn't mean that they're not going to get frustrated. Oh, they're going to get frustrated, especially if there's someone that don't have patience. If no one was patient with them, you better believe it's going to be a trigger. And that's why twin flame relationships are not the easiest to do. Naive. And I kind of feel like in this instance, it was a gift because your energy was not thinking that they were bad or evil or this or that. You didn't try and strategize or anything. You just saw this person in the beginning for like the soul recognition, like for love. So you treated them the way you wanted to be treated. They played games, but they played games due to their own inadequacy and due to the fact that they're with someone else. Ooh, discipline. So where spirit is saying, yeah, I knew that because you didn't get the attention and the love and the support that you needed. Again, feeling unworthy and feeling shamed. Well, spirit's saying and feeling overwhelmed. Well, what skills have you learned? What do you want to do with the rest of your life? I don't know. The rest of my life. It's like spirit saying, have you have dreams that you've started, you have things that you've started, but you start and you're stopping, you start and you're stopping. Second chakra imbalance, individuality, like there's something wrong with you. Oh, this person feels like there's something wrong with them too. But you're like, yeah, but it's like, I just feel like, I don't know, I have a job, it's not really like fulfilling, spirit says. So again, everybody else has a path. So you work in a job that you don't really like, and there's no real adventure after, and there's nothing that ever happens, and it's like Groundhog's Day, and spirit says. So again, you're feeling inadequate. And that's where spirit's saying that's a second chakra imbalance. That's going to come out in the relationship. So you recognize this person as a soulmate. There was love again, and there is love. But spirit says they're in the process of healing right now. It's like, and you are also in the process of healing, where it's getting disciplined with actually creating yourself, being consistent, showing up for yourself. learning how to, again, to create for yourself, not needing to be in a relationship to, again, to help you to create those experiences that you want to actually experience, like travel, or buy something that you want to buy, or do something where spirit's saying there's a feeling like you feel like you can't, where you have skills and talents and things that you just haven't even fed, or even known, because if you were feeling unworthy, you were not creating yourself. You were in a place of survival. Well, now I need to act good. What's going to make me feel loved? Let me go along with everything too. Where spirit says, where's the childhood? Be like childlike, because children don't say that's just a cardboard box. They say that's my next fort. That's my next, and their friends go out and there's never any plans. There's no expectation. There just is. And that's why those times are the best, that we will look back to our childhood and say, well, yeah, used to hang out with the kids and play like hide and go seek and all those different games, and how people would come around. And it's not like kids wouldn't pick on other kids. They would pick on them, but it was like it wasn't really that big of a deal. It didn't ruin whatever was that was being manifested. Like, children didn't need to go out and have anything specific. They found what was in their environment, where spirit's saying, I need you to do the same thing. Discipline yourself to show up for yourself in that area, where the person that doesn't just come into your life and then you're giving them the whole pizza pie. They don't deserve the whole pizza pie. They deserve like maybe half a slice in the beginning. They have to earn their way, is what spirit's saying. Otherwise, you're going to feel undervalued and unworthy. That's going to be a karmic thing. Like, I feel unworthy. And spirit says, if you got the razors for free on the street, would you value the razors? Would you value anything that you got for free? No. So it's spirit saying, you're right there. So that's time. Why is there this extra time here, is what the universe is saying. It's like it's making you feel like there's something wrong, where there was nothing wrong. And it's also just like not bringing any fulfillment. It's just like, oh, I'm kind of bored. And the spirit says, well, half the pizza is missing, and there's no soda either. So it's like, oh, there's like not even really a full meal for like a few people. Where's the salad spirit thing? It's like, remember, it's like this is your life. You get to make it as colorful and as big as whatever, and you're like that. And so spirit saying, which means that you're not in the passion for your life. And then when you're in that energy of love, of unconditional love, you're able to attract love. You're able to actually command that soulmate twin flame to come back. You're not saying it with a word. What you're doing is you're having a love affair with your own life. So again, you're having a relationship with the universe, and through that, you're creating and you're manifesting. It's like, that's how you have a relationship with the universe. But the universe works through everyone. So it's going out and finding yourself, creating yourself, which is what you're doing. And this is why this person thinks that you're magic, where spirit's saying they've never seen that before, where it would have to be that they're, again, very logical, analytical, smart, structured. We saw that spiritual like element of being good with mathematics and being good with the physical elements of the physical world, where again, what we said is your strengths are the spiritual, and this person needs that. So spirit's like, this is the best matchup. As broken as this person is on one area, is as broken as this person is on this. They need help. And the Soul Spirit says, but through the unconditional love and through being taught and through, again, that way, you both find a way. Doesn't mean it's perfect. No, it's not perfect, but it's passable. It's doable. It's like, we'll take it. It's like, did they celebrate your birthday? Yeah, they celebrated my birthday. Well, what's the matter? they got me a vacuum cleaner. Like, it's like, they got me a, again, they were practical. They were, you know what I mean? Where it's like, you missed the mark a little bit. You know what I mean? Where there's a little bit of that. So you would have to say, no, I really don't want a vacuum cleaner. Next time, let's decide to take a trip. Let's, like, I'll take you to the jewelry store. Like, this person doesn't know, and they're always going to play it safe because, again, survival mode. It's how they grew up in. So it's for you not to take that personally, which you will probably take it personally. And Spirit says that's the whole thing. If you're disciplined, well, then you're not paying attention to what this person is doing. You're just going to be in a place of appreciation, because then you don't need it from that person. You're doing it for yourself. And that's what Spirit's saying. I need you to integrate the spiritual lesson and do it for yourself. But you're not going to do it for yourself. You think you're broken. So instead, I got to bring this person into your life again, and that person will show you, but you'll also want to do it, because you're going to be like, I don't want to, like, not have that going for me. When Spirit says, yeah, like, where normally you'd be like, yeah, I know I don't have, I'll just quit that job and get another one. Like, it's like, instead of, like, putting the time towards really finding yourself and becoming yourself. Belittled, again, being told, again, whatever your ideas were, bullied almost. You feel like you were a little bit bullied. And so that's the fear. And then when children grow up that way, have that intimacy trouble issue, because, again, the parent betrayed them. That's the closest person to them. Again, that's the first person that we're taught about life, about people. So the attachment style. And so remember, we're going to see the avoidant be the runner, just avoiding, to the chaser, that is the anxious one that was abandoned, So, and that's where abandoned is, could be the parents there, but it's like, you're unworthy of anything. I'm going to belittle you. You're nothing. You're nothing. You're nothing. You're nothing. So the abuse, that's why Spirit's saying, these people wouldn't be able to heal on their own. The universe says it's like, because everything's a creature. People are a creature of habits. So I have to get involved. It's like I'm support, and I work through you, and I work through that person, but you're both blocked in that area because you're seeing things only from that perception. So I'm going to create the illusion that creates the dynamic that forces you to change. You're not going to want to change. I don't want to change. Why should I forgive them? And Spirit's like, well, then, you can be mad because the ice cream store, they didn't have this cup that you wanted to put the ice cream in. So you can throw a temper tantrum and then be without your ice cream. What's more important? Is it eating the ice cream important, or is it the cup that the ice cream's in? How it looks. You care too much about what it looks like. Oh, it should look like this. You see, this person, Spirit saying, you can tell in this person how they should have their unfulfillment process. Well, I'm just saying, like, it doesn't look right. And Spirit says, no, it's triggering you. And if it's triggering you, it means that you need healing. That's what that means. And if it is, why? Because it makes me feel like I'm unworthy. Like I'm unworthy. Like that's what this person, Spirit says, that person is not doing that. That person is like just not that way. And this is why spiritual blocks need to be healed. Because it's, I had a misunderstanding. I didn't see it right. I reacted because of that block instead of actually working on it. So Spirit's saying, oh, you're healing right now. You're healing. I'm making you heal. And it's uncomfortable because you're like, because it's taking a long time. And so I like to leave off with 2 other cards. Actually, I'm going to pull 3 other cards. And that is what for? And this is Soul's Calling. So Spirit's saying, as long as you're listening to your higher self, and that's you're on your path and you're doing what you love, which I feel like you are. This person isn't. This person is not. I feel like, yes, you grew up in an environment where you weren't allowed to have that, but you learned how to master that. And that's why you'd be a good teacher for this person. And that's why, again, it's like in childhood, like to reparent. So again, and that's going to build the trust. It's going to build the emotional connection, which this person feels like they can't have, but they can have. It's that they've never done, like, tried to build a connection outside of hooking up, instead of being like pretending to be somebody else and then hooking up instead of actually being a friend, going out and finding themselves and trying different things. And Spirit saying it's going to heal the intimacy issues, the trust issues. Pathfinder, you are on the right path, even if it's not the most traveled. And I feel like when you're on the twin flame journey, it's not the most traveled. Understand that. But it also means that your path is also not the most traveled. It means that you're living your truth. That's what I said. You found yourself. Yes, you were belittled. Yes, you were made to feel inadequate and that there was something wrong with you, but you healed those things. So again, more spiritually evolved. And that Spirit's saying, and that's why you seem like, again, this person puts you on a pedestal. Wow, like, look, you just create your life and people like you and life seems so easy and this and that, where you're like, you've created a way where there was no way just for you because you're listening to the higher self. You're listening to that. And that's a co-creation process. But if we have to stay where you need help, if we need help in the discipline structure, probably with the business aspect, it's a different part of the brain, so it's the way that you learned how to survive was through the creative realm. This person could have learned how to survive reading a book, being a smarty pants, learning, being grounded, doing things. So they're very grounded, very survival. Where two opposites, where Spirit says, both are wrong. It's like, I'm actually both. I'm feminine and masculine. Twin flame energy is that. It's like twin flame energy, when the two come together and they integrate their spiritual wounds, they become balanced. And that's when they're able to manifest there, because they're both bringing their talents forward to create. And the creation is the transmutation process of like those deep wounds of feeling inadequate, belittled, like there's something wrong with you, you're not enough, you're not good enough, there's no such thing as love, like being conditioned wrong, and then having a lot of really horrible life experiences happen for you because you've been living out of alignment with the universe, but you don't know any better. You didn't know any better. You were taught wrong. And also, when you're taught wrong, you're conditioned. You have habits and behaviorisms that just are in alignment with those beliefs. So that contributes to the self-sabotage, which is why this person, I said, drinks and says, I need to check out because it's not working, whatever it is. Like there's something wrong, where there really isn't. Is that they need to, when you're on your soul's path, you're changing. And you're changing because the universe is bringing you people and situations and experiences that make you change. This person is changing because you came into their life. If you take this person back, you will change because, again, they are in your life. Partially, not just spiritually, but also like partially because of business-wise, because of whatever talent that they have that you don't, that they are bringing forth. And they will be a teacher for you in that area of life. In God's hands. That's what Spirit's saying. That this is this relationship. It's like the universe had to get involved. It says you got to realize the wound's deep here. They were conditioned. So the universe is like 911. Like it says, my trust in life is implicit. God's greatest knowing and greatest love guides my heart and my choices. My faith is steady, and I remain true to my light. Everything unfolds according to God's will. So again, the divine is involved in that, and that helps us to say, well, what for? Well, twin flame energies, even though they're opposite, they both can have very controlling, they'll mirror each other. So what'll happen is, oh, they're jealous. Oh, they're angry, because those deep wounds create those behaviorisms where spirit says, it's like, you guys can get mad all you want. It's again, love is unconditional. It's like, you can't control love. You can't break love. That's the energy of God. It's the energy of the universe. You can't break it. That's why forgiveness is so important. And that's why a lot of times we don't want to forgive, because it's, again, no one forgave us. Why should I put up with this? Why am I always the one to get shitted on? Why am I the one to get, betrayed? This person should know better. And Spirit says, would you be yelling at a 4-year-old if they, handed you like a pizza made out of Play-Doh? Like, would you be mad? And you'd be like, no. And again, well, this person is emotionally stunted. They're not capable. They're triggering you because of your wound, but they are not deliberately doing it. So you have to learn how to actually integrate that spiritual lesson. Well, I know it's too much to ask a lot of times for people, and that's why you have free will to choose whether you want to be with this person. And Spirit says, I don't really care whether you're with them or not. And because this person is going to change either way. They're changing. They're not coming towards you and asking beforehand, because they're like, oh, I don't want to get shot down. You shoot me down, that might make me stay and be comfortable. This is this person's brain. But understand, eventually what happens is it's that this person leaves, because the universe keeps on bringing them situations that they have no choice. It gets more and more and more and more and more uncomfortable, and they have to shut themselves off more and more and more, and they're getting more and more and more angry. And so eventually you can't control that anger. You already have wounds there. So it's like, imagine stubbing your toe in the same coffee table. And now, like, every day you wake up and you stub your toe, you stub your toe, you stub your toe, you stub your toe, you stub your toe. Eventually, you don't think that you would take that coffee table and smash it into pieces? You get so mad, you would take that coffee table and you would throw it out the window, and might even drive over it just to be like, I'll fix you, coffee table. It's like, because you're so mad. Well, that's like, eventually this person just isn't going to be able to take it, because they're uncomfortable. And that's, the universe says, well, I'm going to make you move. The vice is just going to get tighter and tighter and tighter, because you're out of alignment and you're trying to resist what needs to happen. And that's really what's happening. So for you, it doesn't matter whether you take them back or not. But the thing is, because it's a twin flame relationship, don't cut your nose off to spite your face. Because, hey, listen, remember, the soul things that need to be done there, it said, I love you, please forgive me. Like, it said you both had to do it. And you both had to do it because you both have been wrong. So it's like, I love you, I forgive you, I'm grateful for you, which were all things that were never spoken to you as a child, where, again, you have to reparent yourself, and you are redoing that, just not to you. You're doing it with your twin. And that's how the universe is saying, it's like, okay, this is a test. I want to see you integrate the spiritual lesson. And so but it will feel like, it will definitely make you feel like it's too much work for me. And understand, that's why I said twin flame relationship is not an easy one, but it is one to make you step into the best version of yourself. It's what the divine says, this is my level of what expertise that I think that you should be, like how I made you to be. It's like, you think that you're this person. You're not that person. You have perceptions and situations and things that you perceive about you that are just not true, that you wouldn't volunteer any other way. Just like if you have a child and you have a child, you change, you see yourself different, you learn. Just as every single situation, only with the twin flame relationship, it's digging up all that pain, all that hurt, all that whatever, so that you can transmute it, so that it can. Yeah, forgiveness releases free will, choice. Left behind, did all I could and happy with that. And that's what you have to do. It's like, and then it's about creating your life. Because you have the choice to leave behind a twin flame. You can say, I just don't want it. It's like, but this, have you noticed right now what's happening is this person is healing on internally. They're not, it's like they're not cooked yet. They're not ready yet. But things are happening and you can figure it out then. Well, that's the thing, John. It said anything can happen. So you might say, I don't want it. And then this person can win you over. It's like, and that's the thing. And you could be like, no, I really don't want it. Well, like I said, if it's a real twin flame, a lot of times you won't be able to help yourself. And if it's a karmic, then, you could be like, no, I really don't want it. And I see you differently. So you're not really my twin. You know what I mean? But spirit says it wouldn't matter, because that you would still have made this person change. They'd be leaving you better. And this might not just be your story, because this was a twin flame connection where both parties needed to heal the same thing. It is cruel. It's cruel, but this isn't heaven. The earth is not heaven. You're down here to learn to become the highest state of consciousness, which is unconditional love, which is the energy of God. It's hell. Down here is hell, because the more people that you deal with, the more hurt, the more pain, and hurt people. So it is hell. It teaches you. But remember what it says, be in the world, but don't become a part of the world. So you be in the world by how you contribute to humanity through your hobbies and the things which you love to do, and then you're able to navigate your life down here. Otherwise, your relationship gets out of balance, everything gets out of balance, because you're not giving yourself enough of the emotional support that you need, which, by the way, that's also why the wounds wind up, festering. You don't want to be the devil. Never be the devil. And don't say that. It's like words are your spells. Remember that. Down here, it's like I said, you can still create your heaven on earth. You can. Right, and that's the thing. It's like, and that's sometimes the way that you learn. But still, that person still made you change and still made you heal. And that was the point of the connection. So just not all the time is it your twin flame. It might not have been your story, and that's okay too. But in this story, like this, I think that this person, like it said, it kind of left it open, like it can go either way. And that's because with a twin flame, maybe if it's you stay angry long enough, you'd fester it even longer. You'd be angry longer. Or you might turn around and say, like, take mercy. We'll all know. Hey, Richard, I'm just about to get off. I've been on. What's going on? How you doing? You said that you were going through a lot. You're good? Having a good like Saturday. So by the way, guys, I don't know if you guys know, but I am having a webinar tomorrow. It's free, and it's on healing the effects of trauma. And because I've been doing a little bit of research on what people want to know, on things that people want to, like, again, oracle spreads and what we do, and what um, it would be like breaking the cycle of pain, why you keep attracting the same people, partners, friends, jobs, how to let go of emotional attachments and energy ties, such as your energy cords to the past exes, betrayals, and traumas, and how to heal deep emotional wounds, tools to release anger, shame, and obsessive thoughts, those ruminating thoughts that we get, and how to just rebuild trust in your life. I mean, I don't have time to go into the whole soul's path and all those things, but because again, there's really steps to do that. However, this is a really good webinar. It's free. It's free to join, and you're not going to get like a bunch of weird, like, stalkery emails or anything. Like, we do have like something that's we are unveiling. However, this webinar is free. So people that want to learn, please do sign up. The link I already put in the comments. It should also be in the description box. I'd love to see you guys tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern time, but I know that my assistant put in the time zones, because I said every time I Google time zones, they're wrong. So it's like I need to like download a time zone thing. However, he found one and he put it in, so you can know what time it will be there. You're welcome, John, and thank you all for being on. And if anyone wants to book a personal reading, they can, or you're just interested in learning, check out my website, pureenergyhealer.com. There I have a lot of blogs. I think I have over 100 blogs. I have past TV shows and all that good stuff. All right. Until next time, be true to you. I love you guys. Bye.